Lust is one of the most insidious traps designed to weaken the chosen. It is not merely a fleeting desire, it is a spiritual weapon that consumes energy, distorts perception, and diverts from the divine purpose. It is an invisible chain that stifles the will, fragments the spirit, and blurs vision. As one of the chosen, your mission demands clarity, strength, and self-mastery. But the world is well aware of the destructive power of lust and has turned it into an omnipresent lure. It glorifies, normalizes, and infiltrates it into every corner of existence, disguising it as freedom when, in reality, it is a prison. Before revealing the high prices that lust imposes on the chosen, take a moment to subscribe to this channel and join this awakening. If this message has resonated with you at this precise moment, leave the number 1111 in the comments. This is a sacred code of alignment, and by writing it, you reaffirm your commitment to a higher path. Now, let us delve into the hidden truths of lust and the reason why the chosen must guard their energy with absolute determination. To begin, lust is not just a bodily whim, it is a silent drain on your spiritual essence. Every time you indulge in lustful thoughts or actions, you are leaking your vital energy, weakening the sacred fire that connects you to the divine. In ancient times, the sages understood this truth: sexual energy is the same energy that moves the universe. It is the creative spark, the breath of existence. When wasted without purpose, mental clarity, spiritual strength, and the ability to manifest the supreme will dissipate. The great spiritual traditions have taught that the conservation of this energy is key to enlightenment. In Taoism, it is said that controlling vital essence can extend life and increase personal power. In Hinduism, yogis practice brahmacharya, understanding that sexual energy, when channeled, becomes a bridge to transcendence. The brightest men in history knew this. Nikola Tesla, one of the most innovative minds, attributed his genius to the discipline over his impulses. Ancient monks and warriors understood that self-discipline over unrestrained desire opened doors to unimaginable strength. But in today's world, this truth has been buried. We have been led to believe that lust is harmless, when in reality, it is one of the most debilitating forces for the soul. Have you ever felt an inexplicable emptiness after falling into its clutches? It is no coincidence. It is a reminder that every time you give in, you lose a part of yourself. A chosen one cannot afford to be spiritually fragile. Your mission requires mental purity, soul strength, and intact energy. When you master your desires, you reclaim the divine spark within you and rise above the shadows that seek to imprison you. Moreover, lust not only drains your spiritual energy but also corrupts your discernment. A mind dominated by desire loses its sharpness, its intuition weakens, and decisions begin to be driven by fleeting pleasures rather than wisdom. It is a silent enemy that infiltrates the deepest corners of your mind, making you believe you control your impulses when, in reality, they control you. History is full of great men who had everything: power, wealth, influence, and lost it in an instant, not because of an external enemy, but because of their inability to master their own desires. Look at Samson, a man with superhuman strength, destined to lead, but whose downfall did not come on the battlefield but in the arms of Delilah. It was not his body that weakened first, but his mind, clouded by the deceit of lust. The system knows that the chosen are powerful, and that is why it does not wage a frontal war against them. Instead, it strategically places temptations, disguised as pleasure, love, or freedom. Lust does not attack overtly, it infiltrates slowly, makes you lower your guard, and when you least expect it, you have lost clarity. And without clarity, there is no leadership, no purpose, no greatness. The most important decisions of your life cannot be made with a mind intoxicated by fleeting desires. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you sharpen your intuition. Every time you renounce the ephemeral for the eternal, your vision becomes clearer. On the other hand, lust binds you to what does not belong to you. It deceives the soul by disguising itself as love, creating the illusion of connection where there are only chains. Have you ever felt irresistibly drawn to someone who, instead of elevating you, consumed your energy, your peace, your clarity? That was not love. It was a disguised bond, a trap designed to divert you from your purpose. Every time you indulge in lust, you form invisible spiritual ties, connections that bind you to energies misaligned with your destiny. These ties are not mere emotional memories, they are deep bonds that anchor your spirit, draining your strength, trapping you in cycles of desire, attachment, and pain. Lust does not seek to build but to make you dependent. It does not seek to make you love but to crave what harms you. The ancient Greeks spoke of Eros, the god of passionate love, as a double-edged force. When love is guided by wisdom, it strengthens. But when driven by blind desire, it enslaves. The same happens with relationships. True love nourishes the soul and expands it, but lust only leaves emptiness, confusion, and an echo of what could have been. The system knows that a strong chosen one is unstoppable, which is why it seeks to distract them with draining relationships, connections that consume more than they give. The more you indulge in fleeting pleasures, the further you stray from relationships that truly build your spirit. True freedom comes when you cut those ties and align with relationships that not only awaken your soul but strengthen it. Even more gravely, the chosen did not come into this world by chance. They have a mission, a purpose that transcends the mundane. But there is a silent force that seeks to sabotage that destiny: lust. It is not just a fleeting impulse but a mechanism designed to divide your focus, fragment your will, and weaken your determination. Have you noticed how your energy dissipates after falling into lust? Your mind becomes scattered, your clarity fades, and your drive is stifled. It is no coincidence. The greatest enemy of greatness is not opposition but distraction. They do not need to destroy you to stop you, they only need to keep you trapped in fleeting desires that pull you away from the path. Every minute you spend chasing fleeting pleasures is a minute stolen from your purpose. It is a subtle but lethal diversion. The more time you spend trapped in the cycle of instant gratification, the further you are from the vision you were destined to manifest. Think of the great spiritual masters and strategists of history, Buddha and Jesus. They understood the power of self-mastery. They knew that those who control their desires control their destiny. They understood that true strength is not just overcoming external adversities but conquering the internal battles that seek to dominate the will. As a consequence, the chosen do not walk alone. They are guided, surrounded, and strengthened by divine forces that protect them from what seeks to divert them. However, lust is a crack in that spiritual armor. It is not just a physical act or a fleeting thought, it is a disconnection from the higher self, an opening that allows the entry of negative energies, confusion, and adversity. Have you ever wondered why, after giving in to temptation, things seem to go wrong? It is no coincidence. When you fall into lust, you move away from the highest vibration and allow opposing forces to operate in your life. The path of the chosen requires purity of mind and body, for it is that purity that strengthens divine protection. The ancient spiritual warriors understood this truth. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna speaks of the disciplined warrior, the one who masters their desires and walks in alignment with the divine. When you lose control, you lose your spiritual armor. But here is the key: you can restore it. Self-discipline is the bridge back to divine protection. The moment you regain control of your energy, you realign with the blessings of the universe. The trials you face are not punishments but warnings that your destiny is too great to waste on fleeting pleasures. Every temptation overcome strengthens your spiritual shield, every desire mastered brings you back to the path of purpose. To make matters worse, lust is a mirage. It promises pleasure but delivers emptiness, guilt, and regret. Its greatest trick is making you believe you can play with it without consequences, when in reality, every fall leaves a mark on the soul. The chosen have a deep connection with their conscience, and that means they feel the weight of their actions more intensely. The system knows this, and that is why it seeks to trap you in a cycle of indulgence and guilt. Why? Because a person living in guilt cannot manifest their true power. Guilt is a burden that keeps you chained to the past. It prevents you from moving forward, clouds your vision, and undermines your confidence. But here is the truth: the past does not define you. What defines you is your ability to learn, to rise stronger after every fall, and to walk with determination toward your purpose. A moment of weakness does not mean a lifetime of failure. True power lies in the ability to break the cycle, to forgive yourself, and to choose discipline over distraction. Every time you take control, you strengthen your spirit. Every time you choose purpose over fleeting pleasure, you illuminate your path. Another important aspect: the chosen do not merely exist, they create. Their mind, energy, and focus are powerful tools that shape reality. But when lust dominates the mind, this power weakens. It is not just a fleeting distraction, it is a constant leakage of energy that interferes with your ability to manifest the life you truly desire. The law of attraction establishes a clear principle: what you focus on grows. If your attention is constantly trapped in fleeting desires, your energy disperses, and your ability to attract success, abundance, and purpose diminishes. Lust acts as a mental virus. It infects thought, clouding creativity, diminishing discipline, and disconnecting the mind from the divine flow. The great spiritual masters and warriors knew this. Buddhist monks, Taoist sages, and Stoic philosophers practiced self-restraint, not as a punishment but as a method to refine their inner power. They understood that control over desires not only brought mental peace but also absolute mastery over reality. When sexual energy is controlled and channeled, it becomes a source of creative power, clarity, and focus. Conversely, when wasted without purpose, the internal fire necessary to materialize great dreams is lost. Those who master their desires have a stronger energy field. They not only attract what they want but sustain it. To conclude, when lust takes control, you not only lose clarity and personal power but also become vulnerable to forces that seek to manipulate you. Lust is not just a physical desire, it is a spiritual force that, when unchecked, opens doors that should remain closed. Have you ever made a mistake under the influence of lust that you later deeply regretted? Did you feel that in that moment, you were not yourself, that an external force seemed to drive you to act? That is no coincidence. When lust dominates you, you lose control of your will and become a channel through which low-vibration energies operate. Throughout history, empires have collapsed, leaders have been discredited, and families have been destroyed because of this energy. Lust has been the preferred tool of darkness to weaken the chosen and turn them into instruments of their own failure. Not because they are weak, but because they do not recognize the magnitude of the enemy they face. To be a master of yourself, you must close the door to these forces. You must understand that self-control is not a restriction but a shield. The more you master your desires, the less power the world has over you. And when you fully align with your purpose, no temptation, no distraction, no illusion can divert you from your destiny. Now that you understand the hidden price of lust, the question is clear: will you continue to let it control your life, or will you rise above it? The chosen cannot afford to be weak. They cannot afford to be puppets of their desires. They must protect their mind, body, and spirit, for their purpose depends on it. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you reclaim your power. Every time you master your impulses, you align with the divine energy that guides you. The moment you break lust's control, you reclaim sovereignty over your destiny. Your energy stops dispersing in fleeting pleasures and becomes a magnet for greatness. The world changes when a chosen one awakens. If this message has resonated with you, if something within you knows that this was the reminder you needed, subscribe and join this path of transformation and awakening. This is not just a channel, it is a movement. And if this message reached you at the precise moment when you needed clarity the most, leave 1111 in the comments. This is a code of divine alignment, an affirmation that you are ready to rise and walk with purpose. Remember this: the battle is not out there. It is not against the world, nor against circumstances. It is within you. And the stronger you become in that internal battle, the closer you are to fulfilling your destiny. It is time to awaken. It is time to reclaim what has always been yours. Thank you for watching.